I'm the local president of GTWA. We represent healthcare and community workers here in downtown Toronto. A lot of the sisters are here that I have the privilege and honor of representing, and I'm really glad that they can be part of this today as well. I'm also a member of the Workers' Assembly and the Labour Caucus that came and pulled together this, I think, very important conference for us as activists, allies, supporters, social movements, all the different ways that we describe ourselves, those of us that are engaged and wanting to see social change happen. Many of us as well take a position and are pretty clear around the issue that it's also capitalism that we need to start questioning and challenging as working class people, because I know as a worker myself, it sure isn't working for me anymore. And I don't think it's working for many working class people. So the conference is called Building the Working Class Movement, because as those of us that are here may be active in our unions, community organizations, social movements, grassroots, labor movements, and all the different ways that we describe ourselves, there is a disconnect. We heard from our panel last night, sisters and brothers from different organizations, the labor movement, social movements, migrant workers, precarious workers, and one of the things that was, I think, a common theme was the disconnect in our own organizations from each other, but also with other workers in our communities, and pointed out that oftentimes that's the very reasons why in cities like Toronto we see the election of a neocon like Rob Ford. The knowledge that we have and the certainty that we have that Rob Ford isn't the mayor for us isn't resonating in our communities amongst other working class people, and we have to start figuring out how we overcome those challenges. So that's one of the purposes of the day today. I'm going to try to keep my comments really brief, because we're going to try to stay on time, and we have an amazing speaker that's going to lead off our morning. I hope that in our afternoon sessions today, when we talk about where our priorities need to be, that we need to talk about how we support those workers who stood on a picket line, not one crossing the line, and had to watch scabs coming in every day doing their jobs, that those becomes the priorities for us. I also want to talk briefly about the victories that we have when we do come together as labor, community, social movements. For those that are in the Toronto area, the Labour for Palestine, the resolution that CUPE passed, that saw an education campaign happen, and that built across unions and across sectors and right into the United States. The Special Diet and the Raise the Rates campaign, where CUPE right now, and CUPE Ontario with activists pushing the demands, is doing education with our rank and file members about why welfare is not just an issue for people living in poverty, it's a workers' issue, and making those links between us. Other victories, the Jane and Finch community that organized with parents, youth, workers, teachers, unions, and they stopped the closure and the sell-off of their community school in Shoreham, and also prevented it from 4 other neighborhoods that were being targeted. Sisters and brothers, comrades and allies, those are the victories that we can achieve when we build a working class movement. To speak further on this is Sister Brenda Stokely. Brenda is here with us from New York. I had the chance to hear her speak at the Montreal International Women's Conference this year, as a few of the sisters are here with us today. And we talked about Brenda after the conference, just to let you know, sister. And we said, we got to hear her talk again. And more of us have to hear the message that she shared with us in Montreal. She's a worker, a human rights activist. She's dedicated to ending all forms of national oppression, racism, sexism, and the exploitation of workers. She has co-founded and built several key organizations, including the 2004 Million Worker March Movement, the New York Labor Against the War, Social Service Employee and District Council, and there's a litany of things in our handout. I'm going to stop there because I'd rather have Brenda have the time to speak to you. Thank you.